Hello and a very warm welcome back to the Gimme Wrestling Podcast. I am so happy to be back. I'm laughing my face off.
Today we are looking at the Money in the Bank ladder match predictions. We watched Backlash last night. This is filmed after Backlash. Raw and SmackDown hasn't happened yet.
No.
And we are going to count down our top 10 picks for the male wrestlers that are going to appear in the ladder match.
We have to get excited about something because that Backlash pay-per-view was
pretty
terrible.
poor, man.
Terrible.
Pretty poor. So, number 10.
Indeed.
Dom, who's it going to be?
It's going to be the main man, the Ziggles.
Oh,
the
your
blonde
favourite.
bombshell. Yeah. The fantastic, irrefutably phenomenal Dolph Ziggler.
You should be Dolph Ziggler's manager, man.
I should be Dolph Ziggler's manager. The best pure performer in the WWE today and ever, in fact. Better than Shawn Michaels. Better than AJ Styles. We're not sponsored by Dolph Ziggler. I'm a huge fan of him as a performer. I say these things with a slight element of jest because I appreciate there are some incredible performers in the WWE, but I think on a pure athlete level, alongside guys like Shelton Benjamin, Dolph Ziggler is at the top of his game, and he should be in this ladder match. He's just had a massive push in terms of his contract. Well, a massive push behind the scenes. Yeah, rumoured. Yeah. A massive push in the financial realm.
It'd also give him something to do, man, because he's not really doing anything. He's really
struggling. I mean, there's still potential. I mean, there's still rumours he's going to leave because he's still
unsure in his direction,
and obviously that US title thing was confusing, where he just kind of dropped the title.
Yeah, the other thing is he's won a previous Money in the Bank match, and they always like to go with that. They've done it with Jericho in the past few years, where they've gone, Jericho's favourite to win because he's won one previously. So it all sort of works well into storyline.
Also, he does some really good high spots in the match.
Normally. Yeah, he does, yeah.
He's very good at creating good spots for the match. So I think on that level, and two of our next picks are both very good in these environments too, in these ladder-based environments.
I agree.
So we mentioned like I say, Dolph Ziggler's a really good in-ring storyteller.
Yeah.
Obviously, that previous win plays well into the storyline, and like you said, give him something to do.
Absolutely.
That's our number 10. Number 9 is
Finn Balor. I mean, he's had a great run with Seth Rollins. I think that's going to continue. The thing with the Raw superstars at the minute, and I don't think it's going to be a Raw superstar that wins the ladder match. In terms of whoever wins the ladder match has to be a legitimate contender to either Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns or or Braun Strowman.
But like we discussed, it is a believable
Finn Balor
set of matches. Like you would believe.
We was looking at getting Finn Balor in the Royal Rumble in earlier on this year against Brock Lesnar. That never happened. It ended up being a triple threat, which was Paul.
I think
Vince don't believe
Finn made an incredible go of that on social media as well. I remember when he heard Vince said he wasn't over, and that was interesting because he made a big thing on social media about being over with people, and but that was pretty. But
Balor versus Brock or Roman, it's believable. It's a really good excuse to bring out the Demon and have the Demon win the ladder match. That would be really iconic, and like it was when he first won the Universal title.
And then like a Demon Balor versus Lesnar would be interesting as well.
Absolutely. It'd be great. I'd love it.
It would be like the AJ Styles. I mean, he might not win it, but I think that it would be a similar fever pitch.
It would.
It would be a similar fever pitch to how when Styles faced Lesnar, everyone wanted Styles to win, and he made it believable. Yeah. That he could.
Yes, absolutely.
I think that is the same type of vibe with that. Absolutely. And our next pick, obviously, a standard bearer for the ladder match. Matt Hardy. Now, you picked Matt Hardy. I was a little bit dubious because of his tag team title run with Bray Wyatt. But I believe every Money in the Bank, and it's kind of sad to say this given Matt Hardy's status with the WWE and his kind of legacy, but he would be the necessary comic relief or the guy that we all think isn't going to win, that actually won't win, but wouldn't it be fun if he did, kind of.
Well, he's got the momentum from the Andre the Giant Battle Royale, if you want to call that momentum or not. I mean, he won that. The WWE are clearly going, okay, this is actually okay, this is working. It gives an opportunity to get Bray Wyatt in the match, potentially, and have him neutralised by other people that we could have in later in from sort of similar tag teams. Him winning the briefcase could lead to some great storytelling in terms of taking the briefcase to the Hardy compound and all the sort of mysticalness that the Woken universe brings.
The briefcase of financials.
Exactly, or something. The briefcase of deeds. It'd be great, man. So Matt Hardy, I think, could be...
The case of briefs.
That's good, man. I think it'd be interesting, and I think it'd bring humour into the match.
Absolutely.
And Matt Hardy ladder match, let's go.
Yes, There's someone who's probably not going to bring too much humour into the match, but certainly a massive face pop would be Braun Strowman.
Yeah. Braun. Believable against the main eventers again, so he could cash in. Almost guaranteed if he does win it, he's getting the Universal Championship, which you need after last year's unsuccessful cash in.
If Strowman picks his time to cash in, and like it's against the beaten up Lesnar, then you pretty much you could probably guarantee that Strowman will get it done.
Now this is what I also thought, right? Imagine we get Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, a super finisher match where you give your 2K character 5 finishers at the start of the match, and that's all it is, and it's really boring, right?
Yeah.
Them two have a battle, fight it out, blah blah blah. Braun comes in, cashes in, takes the win in the same way that Seth Rollins did at WrestleMania 32. Now, it seems obvious, and it's the same two people involved in that, but that could lead to some interesting storylines for Roman Reigns as well. Like the guy that almost gets it, but always gets screwed out of it just at the end with the briefcase. And that could be a great storyline going in. So the third time that happens, in a couple of years' time, it doesn't work and Roman wins, and that could be a great way to help get him over if they're still trying.
There is rumours that it will either be the obvious Roman Reigns or Braun Strowman at Money in the Bank versus Lesnar. Lesnar is going to have a match at Money in the Bank.
Right, cool.
As it's reported now anyway online. Take that for what you will, probably a pinch of salt, but Lesnar will, according to the rumours, the dirt sheets, etc., have a match at Money in the Bank, and it is scheduled to be against either Strowman or
possibly both. I think the issue with putting Braun in this event is if he doesn't win it, then he needs to win at the minute.
The whole thing with
after Nicholas,
could a ladder hold him? You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course it could. It could hold Yokozuna if it wanted to. Next up, we have another big guy. We're trying to put as many faces in. It's difficult because you always assume it's going to be heels that win the ladder match. But also, you've got to have faces in there. And there's one big face that will come up because 6 and 5 are sort of very related. At number 6, we've got Big Cass.
Yeah, he looked very weak last night. He needs something better to do than pick on a guy that's standard. I mean, he should have come in and maybe dominated somebody and, thrown him around a bit and proved some dominance first.
Yeah.
And then perhaps gone on to Daniel Bryan. I thought it was, obviously his momentum, any momentum he had coming back, because that was his first pay-per-view match back last night.
Sort of gone already.
It's kind of gone,
But then again, like as with Baron Corbin, I suppose, winning the Money in the Bank last year, a win for Big Cass would be a way to get him back on that momentum train. I think it's potentially possible. Yeah, I think we're just a bit down on it after last night. So number 5, we said he was related to Big Cass, is Enzo Amore.
What?
It's not really. But that would be a surprise, wouldn't it, for everyone? It's not at all.
I was like, I'm pretty sure that's not what you wrote down.
It's Daniel Bryan. A massive face, right?
He's got kind of a nice, normal-sized face. It's just
But you could probably have Daniel Bryan as potentially the only face in there. I think they'll only put 2 faces in there. And everyone can get heat from... Bella Bryan would be great. And so much heat would be available from all the heels there. Enough to go around, if you like.
And with him taking... he'd have a spot where he'd take everybody out and he would look great for
exactly,
a bit anyway.
And he'd nearly win it, but Big Cass maybe
is
the one that upsets.
Winner as well, he's had he's won plenty of ladder matches. He's won an Intercontinental. The last ladder match I think he was in was the Intercontinental one, which he won years ago. He's got that ladder match background. He would do some really good high spots as long as he watched his neck.
Yeah.
I think it would be an incredible.
I think he's a legit winner of the briefcase completely.
Yeah, to be able to see Daniel Bryan go against Strowman or Daniel Bryan go against Balor in this context. In this context of this match. And then same the next guy. I think we're moving on from Bryan. Sami Zayn as well.
Sami Zayn is number 4.
Sami Zayn is becoming more and more believable as a main event star.
Yes.
As a heel.
Yeah, he's great character work.
I think that all he needs is that one WWE World Title win to make him legitimate.
Yeah.
Because right now people view him as a mid-carder.
Yes, or Kevin Owens' sidekick.
Yeah, Kevin Owens. And I think that Sami Zayn just needs that one title win.
Yep.
Maybe out of nowhere, maybe an elimination chamber,
maybe
or a
Money in the
Bank situation.
Yeah.
To change everything.
I think it's his time as well now instead of Owens. I love Owens. I'm not going to take anything away from Owens, but also the build up to the match can be who's going to be in it. Is it going to be Owens or is it going to be Zayn? And we can see that slight feud between them.
Yeah.
Another idea I had is if you've got Welcome Matt Hardy in the match.
Yeah, but that's very interesting because we are obviously coming up, and on the house shows now you have Zayn and Owens versus Bray and
Matt. Now that could be a great SummerSlam event. Now if you put Sami Zayn and Welcome Matt Hardy in the ladder match, you can have them two square off, but also you can have Bray and Kevin Owens neutralising each other on the outside of the ring, which I think would be really interesting, and that would be a great SummerSlam match, I think, and a great way to elevate that Raw tag team title, which none of the tag team titles were even defended last night on Backlash.
It was very odd.
Weird, man.
They didn't even show up, did they?
No, man. The Woken Wonderverse.
I
like that, man. I like that.
Delightful.
If you're enjoying the video, please hit the like button, comment, let us know what you think, and subscribe for more videos.
Yeah.
We've got our Survivor Series 92 video coming out this Friday, so keep an eye out for that. Subscribe for more videos.
But it's cool.
Yeah, man.
It's good.
Next up, number 3. A lot of these are SmackDown. Quick aside, do we think SmackDown or Raw is going to win this? It's got to be SmackDown.
That's SmackDown,
Yeah. Even though it was last year, it's just got to be. It can't.
Yeah, absolutely.
Number 3 is Andrade Cien Almas.
Yeah. Now I've because I'm a big dirt sheet reader, online. I do a lot of research for these types of videos that we do, and there's talk of Almas becoming a top heel on SmackDown. They want to position him as a top heel for that brand. So it would be very interesting to see how he comes in, who he feuds with initially, and I believe he would be a great performer in this type of environment.
Yeah, I agree. I think he'd be incredible. I think it's a great way to reward him for the incredible match he had with Gargano at TakeOver, which was the first 5-star match awarded by Dave Meltzer since Money in the Bank, was it 2011 with CM Punk and John Cena? Wow. I mean, that's massive, man, and what a way to sort of reward him by giving him this first win, make him legitimate from the moment he goes in. He's an incredible worker. He'd be incredible in a ladder match, I'm sure. And he'd also be a great person to hold the briefcase with his manager, Selena Vega.
Yeah, I think it's a lot very quickly for him. But I think it's believable. So he's a believable winner.
The thing is with him, if he wins it, he doesn't need to cash in immediately. He can hold that.
Yeah.
And feud with whoever he wants to feud with.
Become that main event guy in that time. A bit like Dolph Ziggler did, and a bit like, numerous other Money in the Bank winners have done. They've become something over the
Baron
year.
Corbin.
Not Baron Corbin. And not Mr. Kennedy.
No.
And John Cena even, who was the other guy, I think, to miss out on, to not be able to cash it in. It'd be very fantastic to see Cien Almas in that match. Number 2. The greatest
consummate ladder match.
Greatest performer in even. I'm not really a great fan of his character, but definitely the greatest performer or one of the greatest performers in the last 10 years. and probably one of the greatest, well, definitely one of, if not the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time.
Awesome.
You can't deny the guy's skills. And again,
the Miz
again in these
2.
high pressure situations, the Miz excels, and he will be a world champion by the end of this year, I believe.
And what a great way to get him into that picture by giving him it now.
He will have a world championship run by the end of this year. He will be world champion again.
You see, I think there's one guarantee that we're getting in the ladder match, and that's Daniel Bryan. Mm-hmm. I think there's no way they will not put Daniel Bryan in that ladder match.
Unless something tragic happens with his neck.
Yeah, which hopefully won't.
Hopefully won't.
With Daniel Bryan being in it, you can have Big Cass and The Miz, and you can build into that feud between Bryan and Miz, whoever sort of stops Bryan from winning it. They're looking at doing that on the house show circuit at the minute with The Miz and Daniel Bryan. Mm-hmm. I know when that comes to the UK, they're the matches that they're having, which would be great. Mm-hmm. And it'd be great to see him with a briefcase. He'd obviously do wonderful work. He'd have his Miz TV every week with a briefcase sitting next to him and stuff like that. Great. It'd be cool, man. It'd be great. So, before we go into number 1, we'll do... and that's everything. It is Miz's time to become champion.
I will agree with that, absolutely,
6 years ago, it definitely wasn't the right time. Now, it definitely is.
Yep.
Honourable mentions, we're going to give to Kevin Owens again, but we sort of talked a little bit about him, Sammy... Let's take a back step.
But even, if they were still feuding, if they decided to feud...
Who's Sammy and Kevin Owens?
Then this would be, the similar, say, replace Matt Hardy with Owens.
You could do that.
Rusev, I like, anything to do with Rusev at the minute is a good decision on a business level for WWE. Yep. Unless I think it's a terrible idea that they're thinking about removing Aiden English from his side. Yep. And again, I read this morning, that it's because they don't like his look. The WWE officials do not like Aiden English's look. He's not
a poster boy, is he? But
and obviously Lana certainly is a much more pleasing
poster boy
thing to a poster person to look at. But really, Aiden English is the reason Rusev is as over as he is.
Very much so.
And so it will be very interesting to see once. I mean, I'm sure Rusev will keep the Rusev Day thing.
Yes.
But obviously, is it going to be the same? Or what I would like to see is, because obviously Rusev gets to take Lana home anyway, so to speak, what I'd like to see is him choosing Aiden English over Lana eventually.
That'd be cool. That'd be interesting.
That being a storyline of sorts.
Having a feud between Lana and Aiden English is what you want.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean.
It works.
You see what I mean? And the last one is a guy who has consistently performed very similar...
Can I just say about Rusev as well? I don't want to see him in a ladder match, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because WWE don't know what they're doing with him in terms of his face and heel. And you put him in a ladder match, he's just going to be all over the place.
That's true, you're right.
The crowd are going to be cheering, he's going to be doing heely things. It's just weird.
You're very right, you're very right.
WWE need to accept him as a face, man.
And absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that, it will be very interesting to see how that worked if he was in the match. And I think there's a very real possibility he will have a place there.
Very much That's why he's on the honourable mentions.
The last guy is Shelton Benjamin. Now, since Shelton Benjamin, he was around a lot when you I think you were taking a break from watching wrestling. Yep. He had a great couple of championship runs, particularly with the Intercontinental title. He was billed very much how Dolph Ziggler is now, where he's one of the best pure athletes WWE has ever seen.
Yep.
He was always on the cusp of a main event push, but never quite got there. He was obviously part of Team Angle with Kurt Angle and Charlie Haas as well. Had a lot of really great matches.
I think it gives him something to do.
Yeah, one particular match with Shawn Michaels, which I would advise people go back and look at on Raw. They had a really great match together. And basically, Benjamin has the definite, could potentially be a US champion again on his second run, or maybe his third run. I'm pretty sure it's his second run in WWE. And in this type of match, I believe he's been in one before, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's certainly been in some ladder matches before, and he's a consistently good performer. Very good at, again, like a guy like Zayn will be, like a guy like Almas will be, a very good high spot performer in these types of environments.
That'd be good. And the other one as well, quickly, would be Jason Jordan as well.
Yeah.
This could give Jason Jordan something to come back to.
Yeah, and equally, you know, like because you've got, like I say, Jordan needs something.
Yes,
and you know, Chad Gable. You know, what are they going to do with Chad now? You know,
who knows,
he's an incredible
Who knows?
talent. Incredible talent.
Before we go on to number one, again, if you've liked the video, please subscribe, comment, let us know what you think down below. Check us on social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, and Patreon. Also, if you check out our other video, we've got a video going up at very much the same time, which is the top 10 superstars who will appear in the women's ladder match. So check that out, because I think that's quite interesting as well. I'm looking forward to that.
Absolutely.
So number one is, and this is my number one, I really want this guy to win it, Shinsuke Nakamura. We've just seen a double count out, weird ending to a great match.
The low blows, the double lows, which was brilliant and executed in terms of a visual treat for people.
Yeah, because that spot could have really not worked at all, and both of them connected.
They felt at the same time that you know, it was brilliant. You know,
it was just not what people want.
Not a great, you know, in terms of the whole pay-per-view itself. You know, we're very active on social media, on Twitter, and following the progress of people's opinions and thoughts. The general viewpoint of the pay-per-view as a whole, and particularly that match, was just disappointing. You know, they expected so much more.
We just want an ending to this match, but then, you know, it carries a feud on.
It was the best match of the series of matches they've had.
Absolutely.
You know, but like I say, just a terrible ending, which kind of let the whole thing down.
Yes. But why would Shinsuke win it? Well, let me tell you why Shinsuke would win it. This whole low blow thing that's been going on with AJ, right? Instead of it being like a low blow as in a physical move that takes AJ's championship off him, what if it was a low blow in terms of, let's say SummerSlam, it's AJ versus Samoa Joe, and the low blow comes afterwards when Shinsuke takes it over. So it's almost a metaphorical low blow. That'd be epic, man. I mean, what a good way to get Shinsuke as a champion. What a great way to
solidify him as one of the best heels of this year.
A clever heel.
You know, so, I mean, it certainly breathed new life again. Researching other people's opinions and thoughts, you know, certainly given new life to his career. And I wish that people would take, you know, I wish the WWE officials would take that kind of approach to someone like Bayley in the women's division, because it might, you know, to reinvigorate somebody's career when they're kind of just stale, a little bit stale, you know. And Shinsuke, look how well it's worked for him and his people still cheer him. But you know,
he's incredible.
He's an unmistakable heel. But there's so many stale characters in the WWE right now. Particularly, you know, like I say, you've got identifiable good people like, you know, Shinsuke was and Bayley is. You know, but they have no character. They have no venom. And Shinsuke now has the venom that he needs to go up to the next level.
Let's see Chaos win the championship.
Yeah, I wouldn't have believed him as a world champion as a face.
I would have just. I mean, if you look at his NXT run,
I know. You know, it can be done, but it's different in NXT to be.
Yeah. Well, that is our list. Again, please like, comment, and subscribe for more videos, and go check out us talking about Bayley on the other video, which is the top 10 women superstars to be in the ladder match this year. Thank you very much, and keep it
gay.